What is going on, everyone? This is Zach from Clutch Crew Sports, back with another week of the Lockboard. So I believe we're on Lockboard week number 5 now. Yep, Connor's putting up the 5. He's going to remind me of that every week because I'm just going to forget.
But eventually I'm going to run out of fingers when we get to 11.
What do you do when you get to double digits?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Like 11.
Yeah, 10 plus 1.
We're just going to do this thing right here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love it. But yeah, so week 5 of the Lockboard is going to come up to you guys next. As always, though, we like to recap the week before, and we'll tell you what we got right, what we got wrong. First, we'll look at the standings. Another first place week for myself with 10 points. And there's the thumbs down, the shaking of the face from Eric. And Eric, you guys can be mad at me all you want, but for Eric's sake, you got to do better yourself here. Connor, respectable 5 points this week, and Eric in last with a 0. And the total standings, the order remains the same. I'm still in first place with 25. Eric's still in second with 13. Connor's catching up to Eric, however, with 10. So 15 points back from the leader is Connor. So that's the margin between first and last. And because of that, I'll have the last pick in this week's draft, and Eric will have the first pick. I'll go ahead and just tell you guys what I got right this week. Really good week for me on the Lockboard, obviously. 15 points. Or no, 10 points, sorry, is a good week. 15.
Honesty, Zach.
15 would be that's our borderline record. I don't know what the records are for this, but that'd be probably the record.
It's gonna be hard to judge though, given that in the past we only had 3 picks. So
true.
The record before the highest you could get was 15. So
yeah, and I don't think anyone's ever done that. So
whereas now it's 20. So
yep. But what I got right, started out with a 5-pointer on college football Saturday. I got Purdue beating Minnesota. Purdue, they're always one of these teams that gets these upset wins this time of year. The shocker makers, they call them. They have a knack for getting upsets. I thought that game had a lot of value. Pretty ugly game to watch, but they ended up winning, so I was happy. The Jets over the Steelers, once again, another Jets pick right for me. Connor's wasn't happy about that one. That one wasn't looking good towards the end of it. I thought the Steelers were going to win, but the Jets made a comeback and won that game. Titans over the Colts, I got that one right as well, 2-pointer. And unfortunately, the one I wanted the most was red here. I picked the Jags to beat the Eagles. It was looking good in that one. Jags were up 14-0, but that one didn't hit for me. I wish it did. But those were the ones that I got right and wrong this week. Connor, what about you?
Yeah, well, I managed to rebound from the 0 I had last week and at least get 5 points with my first pick, Wake Forest over Florida State. I thought that was crazy that Wake Forest was, a 7-point underdog. I know they were on the road, but given they had just gone to double overtime against Clemson, I thought that was a no-brainer for me. Unfortunately, I took a bit of a shot in the dark with my second pick with the Arkansas over Bama game, and that was looking really ugly to start. Bama was up 28-0, but then Arkansas, Bryce Young got hurt, and Arkansas managed to close the gap to a 5-point deficit, but then the wheels just fell off again, so that was unfortunate. I thought I was actually going to get 2 5-pointers, but, thanks Arkansas for letting Alabama destroy you. And the other 2, they definitely weren't as close. NC State over Clemson, that was a real defensive struggle at the start, but NC State just couldn't put it in the end zone, so Clemson pulled away at the end. And then the Niners, my 2-pointer NFL, I was like, I got to get a 2-pointer here. The Niners just absolutely manhandled the Rams on Monday night, so that was unfortunate as well. But, at least I got 5 points. No zeros this week.
Yep, and then Eric, why don't you tell the audience, the viewers,
zeros here.
Yeah. Tell them what not to do here.
I didn't get to do my picks live, but I got most of the ones I wanted. But they
you didn't get
sucked.
sniped, so no excuses here.
I had Oregon State over Utah. I thought Oregon State was close to beating USC, and I felt like USC is better than Utah, so I thought Oregon State could pull that out, but they didn't. I had the Texans over the Chargers. That was a kind of like Connor's Arkansas over Bama game. Like started off really ugly, but then Houston came back, but it was too little, too late. But what really upset me was Texas A&M losing to Mississippi State and Kentucky losing to Ole Miss. I mean, the Kentucky game, I got over that a little more, but they missed an extra point, missed a field goal, had a turnover at the end. Like, I guess like when we were all talking together during the games on Saturday, and like
Eric was complaining hard about
Texas A&M and Kentucky. It was like they're like, hey, like it's like their opponents were like, hey, it's like they're playing paintball, and they're like, hey, you know what? Here's the gun, shoot me, we'll give you the dub. But they were like, no, I'll shoot myself instead of shooting you. Because, like, Texas A&M, it was like, Mississippi State was like, okay, you're in the red zone before halftime. Here's a field goal. No, thanks. We'll let you block it and run it back for a touchdown. Or, like, okay, here's a chance to score. You're in the red zone. No, thanks. We'll let you get a strip sack and recover the ball. Just, like, stupid stuff. Or, like, okay, they're in the red zone. Okay, well, you know what? Let's commit 3 holding penalties in a row first. Just stupid stuff, dude. I was like, I'm ranting on this. Like,
in case you didn't realize, when Eric said we were all talking, there was a lot of complaining about Texas A&M going on.
Texas A&M especially, dude. Like, oh my god.
And not as much about Kentucky, but mostly about A&M.
And they're already known for like doing those stupid midnight roasts where they're like, "Oh, I had to Google who Upstate was. I didn't even know they were a real team." And then they lost that game. Like, I should have known not to pick them, but for whatever reason, I was like, they're ranked, and Mississippi State hadn't impressed me throughout the season so far. So I really thought that was an easy pick, and that was wrong. So, like, really, Texas A&M and Kentucky both should have won, but they screwed up and whatever. So I'm ready to move on and try to attempt to bounce back from that unfortunate performance last week. So
well, hey, you can't make the mistake of picking A&M this week because they're not on the Lockboard this week. So
thank God.
They're also playing Alabama, so I'm sure you wouldn't make that mistake anyway. But
oh no, like they can't even score in the red zone against Mississippi State. How are they going to do it against Alabama? Like, Alabama by 42.
Alrighty, guys. So, Eric, you do have the first pick. If you're watching on YouTube here, we just flashed up the spreads for this week. Heavy on the 5-pointers for those not watching on YouTube here. Almost twice as many as the 3-pointers or the 2-pointers. So, this is a good week for possibly the second and third place teams to come back to, even overtake first place. You never know. But
that'd be something.
That'd be something. But yeah, Eric, you got the first one here. I know your plans changed late on this pick, but what's it going to be here?
Yeah, so I am going to go with a 5-pointer to start. And I'm picking against a team that I picked against last week here, so maybe a risk, but I'm going for it. I'm also going back to the writing my picks down and showing them on paper. We got Arkansas over Mississippi State for the 5-pointer. Arkansas put up a pretty good fight against Bama last week. And with that Mississippi State game over Texas A&M last week, I more so think Texas A&M shot themselves in the foot versus Mississippi State winning the game. So I'm going to give Arkansas the benefit of the doubt after that Bama loss and see if they can bounce back against Mississippi State here.
Interesting. Connor, you got the second pick here now.
Wasn't really a snipe there. That was kind of lower on my 5-point list. But I'm also, going to take a 5-pointer. There's so many on here, so got to get them while they're here. I'm going to go with the Big 12 matchup of the week with Kansas beating TCU. This is something I thought I would never say, like, even 5 months ago, but Kansas is
it looks like
undefeated.
Zach might have got sniped there. I think I saw a little snipage.
Yeah.
But Kansas is undefeated right now. They're at home. They're riding high. Give me the Jayhawks.
Man, I really wanted that.
Connor, you do know this isn't basketball, right? I'm just kidding. Yeah, that was my second 5-pointer that I liked second most. So I not too surprised by that pick.
Yeah, I was worried you were going to take that one. I'm glad you didn't. So.
Yeah, I have to regroup here. The Zach camp has to change
consult with his assistants.
Yep. But hey, you can't overreact to one pick ahead of you, one snipe. You have a board. You got to stick to your board. I'm sticking to my board.
Stick to the board.
Yep. The board says that BYU on the Lockboard for me has been favorable. I've enjoyed the results of BYU games, and I'm going to pick them because I think they're going to beat Notre Dame. And that's a 3-point game, so I'm taking BYU to beat Notre Dame. We'll see what happens. I like watching BYU, so this is going to give me more passion in watching them play. But BYU, they're the team I like this week. Sticking to my board, happy with the pick. All right, Eric, back to you.
I'm shocked you didn't go a 5-pointer there. I know the top one you got sniped, but with there being so many 5-pointers and your love of 5-pointers, I'm shocked you didn't do that.
We stick to the board here. That's how you get the first
place.
That's how you get the first place, Eric.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, as you say this to the defending champion, okay? Like, I don't know how to do this. Okay. Look, I had the bad 0 last week, so you're pushing me into a corner here, okay?
Well, yeah, Eric doesn't need the goofy dragon memes coming out.
Yeah. That's at least 3 weeks. So if I have another 0, I still have one more chance. So.
Well, you still got to get more than like 1 point in that week, though. It can't be a 1-point week. It's got to be at least like 2 or 3.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, we're gonna go to a second pick here. Susan's gonna like this pick a lot. I've got the Dallas Cowboys beating the LA Rams for a 3-point play. I know Dallas is on the road, but I like the matchup a lot. Dallas got their weapons back on offense. Obviously, they still don't have Dak, but Cooper Rush has been doing pretty solid. They've got their weapons back, and the Rams just looked abysmal last week. I mean, other than Cooper Kupp, they've got nothing going on that offense right now. Their run game's bad. None of the other wide receivers are doing anything. Stafford he had a pick 6, but he could have had 3 interceptions in that game. So the Cowboys defense is pretty good. So give me the Cowboys. I don't know if you heard that, Susan, but you'll hear it later. So she'll be happy with me. So
that's fine. You can have that.
I get a positive.
Yeah, you can have that pick. I'm cool with it.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. All right, Connor, you're up next here.
All right. Definitely interesting here. But I think for the sake of where I'm at in the standings right now, gotta go 5-pointer again. I'm gonna take it over. I had the Big 12 last time. Gonna take it over to the Pac-12 and take the Arizona Wildcats to beat the Oregon Ducks at home.
That'd be a surprise for sure, I think.
Arizona's finally gotten out of the we're winless.
Yeah.
So, again, this isn't basketball, but
yeah. Connor going with all these basketball teams. Basketball season hasn't started yet.
Connor,
if we're talking that, next thing you know, I know they're not on the board, but I'm gonna find a way to pick Duke and UNC too.
All right. I'm okay with those round 2 picks by my co-hosts. The one I wanted still here. So I'm gonna take the Seattle Seahawks to beat the New Orleans Saints 3-pointer. They do have to travel. They have to travel. But New Orleans offensively just has really struggled, in my opinion. Seattle, on the other hand, I know Detroit's got a historically bad defense, but Seattle, it has positive momentum. I think they'll be able to run the ball on the Saints. I think Geno Smith's getting better. I just like the Seahawks. I just think the Seahawks are a better team right now than the Saints. So going with that one, 3-pointer. It's not going to give me 5 points, but I'll gladly take the 3.
I'll agree with your pick there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
No,
And
that is a benefit of being in first. You don't have to pick 5-pointers and stuff.
Eric, top of the 3rd round here now for your selection.
For sure. There actually, I mean, with as many games as we have this week, there aren't like a ton that I have been interested in. So I'm going to go over into the 2-point range. There is one 2-pointer I really like. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. And that is going to be Connor's 2 favorite teams, the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Baltimore Ravens in a AFC North showdown. The Ravens have, been up and down, and Cincinnati started off down, but they've got more momentum going into this. Definitely a toss-up game probably, but I'm definitely leaning more on the Bengals over the Ravens on that, and I feel like I can get those 2 points.
Interesting. Yep. We will see is that a Sunday night game or a Monday night game?
That's Sunday night.
I think
Sunday night. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot to put the dates up on this one.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I knew it was a night game. I just didn't know which one. But yep, Connor, you've got the next pick here.
Yeah. I got my 2 5-pointers here. I think I'm probably going to head over to the I'll head over to the 2-point area here. Just want to get a good 2-pointer. I'm going to go ahead and take the Detroit Lions to beat the New England Patriots. Detroit, they had trouble stopping the Seattle run game last week, but Detroit, they've got a really great offense. They should be getting Amon-Ra St. Brown back next week. The Patriots, they've got all kinds of quarterback problems going on right now with Mac Jones being hurt and Brian Hoyer getting hurt and all this stuff. So I'm going to take Detroit to beat New England.
That was an awful pick, dude. Bailey Zapp, the Victoria, Texas legend, is going to kill the Lions. Okay.
Get his name right.
He
Eric.
almost
it's Zappy.
He almost beat Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so Jared Goff ain't gonna do nothing.
Eric, it's Zappy though, not Zapp. Bailey Zappy.
He doesn't even know the guy's name.
Yeah. Your hometown guy. You don't know his name.
This isn't my hometown. Jacksonville's my hometown.
Yeah, I'm calling it.
This is my residency town. Okay.
You didn't pick the Jags on the lockboard last week though. So
I've still picked them more times than you. 3-1, baby. 3-1.
Also, Eric's at least gotten his picks right when he's picked the Jags.
2 out of 3, baby.
Yeah, true.
I thought we were able to turn that one around on, get that off of me.
Yeah.
Well, Eric and I got this alliance going on.
Connor,
right now,
Connor and I have an alliance against Zach right now. So like Zach and I may have like an alliance against Connor in Sports Jeopardy and Madden and stuff like that. and the logboard right now, Zach is public enemy.
I'm public enemy number 1. And I understand this. But
like Connor and I are just waiting for you to have a 0 so we can just roast everybody.
I'm feeling pretty good this week. I won't have a 0, Eric. So you're gonna have to wait another week. Definitely, I'm sure about that.
Next week,
he's gonna guarantee that he doesn't have a 0 because he's gonna take like Clemson as a 1-pointer or something. Just to make sure he doesn't have 0.
All right. I've done that when I've had the lead.
No, I know what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna take a 5-pointer. I'm gonna take Washington State over USC. Washington State. I really love their quarterback. Let me type this in here before I talk.
They're over here blowing leads to Oregon. What makes you think they're going to beat USC?
Yeah, it's. I think
you can tell I'm not salty at all about that.
Yeah. No, I just think Washington State, their offense is gonna do really good. USC, we're gonna see. This is gonna be another test for them. I thought Oregon State could beat them, but I'm confident and hopeful Washington State can get the job done. But we go to the fourth round now here. Eric, you've got the first pick in the fourth round. So where is your draft night going to end here?
Yeah, my last pick, I mean, as many 5-pointers as there are, I just don't like any of them. Like, the only ones I liked were the one I got, and then the Kansas over TCU one. I just really don't like any of them. So I do have 2 pro picks in a college. When I pick live, I tend to like to go 2 and 2. So I will take another college. It's going to be the other 3-pointer game. Give me, did I write that right? Yeah, give me UCLA.
He doesn't even know his pick.
Well, I don't know why I was like, wait, did I write Utah first? Like, I thought I wrote that down wrong, but I fixed it. It was right. UCLA really impressed me in their win against Washington last week. I don't know if Washington's getting overhyped or not, but I don't know. If UCLA keeps playing like they did against Washington, then I think I've got a chance to get that. But this is my 4th pick, so like I'm not, not the most confident in this one. But
yeah.
Oh, I see we have a guest appearance that's about to happen. Is your guest here going to announce your last pick, Connor?
No, she won't announce it, but she wanted to come into the room, so I was like, well, you can be on camera a little bit.
I'm studying now for all the cat teams that Connor
What was
might
the
pick
cat
now.
looking at? What was the cat
Yeah.
looking at? What part of the screen?
She was probably looking at something that you're not expecting, because I don't, this is probably going to come as a bit of a surprise what my last pick is going to be. But as much as I don't think it's going to happen, I am going to this game in person, and I'm going to be like, rooting really hard for this to happen. Like I said, I have a bad feeling it's going to be a blowout. I have a bad feeling it's not going to go well. But give me the Steelers over the Bills, the big upset of the week. I'm going there live. I want to leave Highmark Stadium with all the Bills fans crying into their towels or whatever they have.
Throwing themselves through tables. Well, they do that even when they win, but
I'm gonna say,
they'll be crying. They'll be crying as they jump through the table.
They're not gonna be breaking any tables because they're gonna lose. So
the Steelers are gonna win because Connor's gonna be the 12th man.
Yeah.
Doing the defense chants and banging the chair in front of him. Yeah. Oh man,
bold pick, but I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah,
trust me. If I wasn't going to the game, I probably wouldn't have picked it. But I'm going, so.
Zach and I, as Jags fans, we can respect that,
Yeah, you have to do that. If you're going to a game, there's so much more pressure on you to pick that on your lockboard, especially if your team's an underdog. If they're the favorite, no point in doing that. But underdog teams going to the game, definitely gonna be looking to pick those. With my last one, this is also one I feel like most people wouldn't expect, but I'm going to go with Arizona beating Philly. The reason kind of similar to Connor's. What's that?
I said that's funny for a different reason, because when we started this, on the spreads list, that was listed wrong, and it had Arizona as the favorite. And that was going to be Eric's number one pick.
I already had it written down, locked.
Until he found out that I made a mistype and actually Philly's favored.
I was ready to hand my pick into Roger Goodell, and then had to throw me off.
Yeah, but no, this is one of those things where it's like it's one of those things that almost makes sense because it doesn't make sense, if that makes any sense.
Jack, I'm gonna need you to make this make sense, okay?
Because the Eagles are undefeated, 4-0, looking really great, number 1 on our power rankings, all this stuff. Arizona, nobody has any faith in them. It's Arizona, they're struggling this year, not doing great. That's why it's going to happen, is because everybody in the world is saying that Arizona doesn't have a chance. That's why they're going to win. And that's why Connor might get the Steelers right too. It's just, the way these things go.
I'm not going to pick them, but I think they have a chance.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. To recap my picks here, 3 3-pointers. I picked BYU. I don't know why I said BTU there, but BYU over Notre Dame is a 3-pointer.
Texas University.
You guys are gonna get me on a technicality here.
Yeah, there was no BTU game. I don't know what you're talking about. That is null and void. Does not count.
IUPUI.
Yeah.
Are they playing a game?
Oh yeah.
Seattle over New Orleans. I've got that as a 3-point pick. Arizona over Philly, as I just said, that's another one of my picks. And then my 5-pointer is Washington State over USC. Eric, I'll turn it over to you to recap your picks here.
Yeah, I had the first pick. Really hoping that Kansas over TCU doesn't happen, since that was the other one I was debating. But I went with Arkansas over Mississippi State as a 5-pointer for my first pick. And then I had a couple pro games. The Dallas Cowboys over the Rams as a 3-pointer. The Bengals over the Ravens as a 2-pointer. And then my other college pick that the game probably won't be over till 2 a.m. I'll have to debate if I watch it or not, is UCLA over Utah as a 3-point pick as well. And then Connor, what about your picks?
Yeah, so I have Jesus Christ, one of my cats wild stuff over there. But I got 5-point heavy this week. 2 college, 2 NFL games. Kansas over TCU, what Eric was just talking about. I mean, you never know. It could end up like last week, with I wanted that Purdue Minnesota game that Zach took, but both of them ended up hitting. So, I guess, I looked more smart that way.
That would help us with our alliance against Zach if both of those hit. So
yeah. But then I've also got Arizona over Oregon, so we'll see how that one goes. And then for NFL picks, I've got the Lions beating the Patriots on the road for a 2-point play, and then of course Steelers over Buffalo, 14-point underdogs for the 5-pointer.
Yep. So that is the Lockboard Week 5 picks. We will be back next week to share how these went and pick a new set of picks. And we'll see what the standings look like after next week. A lot of smack being talked, and we'll see what next week holds, guys. Until then, remember, as always, be clutch.
Peace.
Bye.
The Connor special guest is there again.